Hi ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to decompose fractions using the area model. You'll notice as we go through and solve this that the area model looks very similar to a tape diagram. So when we're going to go through, it says draw horizontal lines to decompose each rectangle into the number of rows as indicated. Use the model to give the shaded area as both a sum of unit fractions and as a multiplication sentence. So we're going to make sure we use unit fractions and a multiplication sentence. So what we're going to do is they started with a fourth, and then they broke it and they cut it horizontally, and then now we have to count up all of our pieces to find our denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2 out of the 8 are colored in. This right here as a unit fraction would be 1 out of 8, and this one up here would be 1 out of 8. So I would write 1/4 is the same as 1/8 plus 1/8, also known as 2/8. So this is writing it with our unit fractions, and then we have to still write it as a multiplication sentence. So down here I'm going to notice that I did 1/8 2 times. Then yesterday we talked about checking our work. So we have 1/4 and we have 2/8. Do you guys remember how we can figure out if these are equivalent? Go ahead, pause your video and look to see. When you cross multiplied to double check, you easily saw that they both equaled 8, which means that 1/4 is in fact equivalent to 2/8. We could also write that as 1/4 is equal to 1/8 plus 1/8, or we could do it with our multiplication sentence by multiplying 1/8 2 times. All right, moving on to the second one, they're saying that there's 2 rows. So let's first start by just figuring out what is our starting fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 1 colored in. Then it says up here to draw a horizontal line, breaking it up so there's 2 rows. Now I can easily figure out if I broke it into 2 parts, there's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 2 are colored in. Now, remember we have to write it using a unit fraction. Go ahead and pause your video and write the equation with a unit fraction. Okay, go ahead and check your work that you wrote yours as a unit fraction, noticing that I have 1/10 as my unit fraction, and I wrote it 2 times to equal 2/10. Now I could go ahead and write that multiplication sentence. So I know 1/5 to get to that, I multiplied by 2 by that unit fraction to get 1/5. All right, boys and girls, for this next part, I want you to go ahead and pause your video and read the directions, underlining important parts. I hope you notice that there's 2 parts to the direction that we have to do. All right, nice job reading. So if you noticed, we have to write a unit fraction and we have to write a multiplication sentence. So first we need to draw our area model, and it's 1/3. So I broke my model into 3 parts, and 1 part is colored in. Now it's saying I'm breaking it up into 12 parts. So my question is, how do I get from 3 to 12? And I know if I multiply by 4, I can get to 12, which means I need to break each part of these into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I could go through and count. I should have a total of 12 and 4 colored. Now we're not done. We have to write our unit fraction. So we had 1/12 plus 1/12, and total that equals 4/12 or 1/3. And as a multiplication sentence, I have 1/12 times 4 equals, and we could technically write it as 4/12, or it's also known as 1/3. Okay, so I have my addition and my multiplication. I'd like you to go through and try B and C on your own, and then check back with my work to see if you did it correctly. Remembering you need to have that unit fraction sentence and the multiplication sentence as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your last one is the addition with the unit fraction, and then you have the multiplication sentence. All right, guys, on the homework side, I just need you to try 2a, which is 1/3 equals 2/6. Now make sure you're reading the directions. It says it wants an area model, unit fractions, and a multiplication sentence. So if you're someone that just cross-multiplied, that is not correct. I need to see all of these things happen. Okay, good luck, and then you can start your stations.